で動けなくする。
なるほどな。さっきからゴブリンが棒立ちなわけだ。遠慮なく叩くぜ。
Gluttony episode 2, my friends, and I'm having a personal moment to me of just, can I pick him or can I pick him? Like, yo, let's effing go. Yo, this show is so good. So I wrapped up watching Berserk of Gluttony episode 2 this morning, and like, not only did this episode kind of contextualize everything that happens within the world based on the girl that our main character, Fate, last week needed to save, right? The episode ended last week with him needing to save this little girl who was about to be used by the knights as like a punching dummy or like an experimentation kind of thing. And based on that, we learned that she was part of actually like the orphanage of the church. And through the orphanage of the church, we learn that Laplace is the creator of this world. And before kind of like the gods left the world, they bestowed the skill system. So prior to this person or this entity coming into the world, or entities coming into the world, prior to that, Laplace created the world. There was entities within the world that apparently had skills and would share, but for the most part, skills really didn't exist in the world. And as they kind of fled, they bestowed the world, skills. And that's where this system, this hierarchy, this social system, this social ladder of skills versus the not skills kind of came into place. And the kids are there kind of like, asking the nun questions about this stuff and saying like, why were we not chosen this way? Like, why are all our skills useless? And it really allowed you to really empathize with these certain set of characters, along with our main character, Fate, who up until like last, his most recent endeavors, thought that he was a useless human individual and person based on his skill as well, being the gluttony skill. And then that then took us right into the very next thing of him actually going in and saving this girl, saving this little girl, and, between him and his sword, partnering with his sword, and, taking on this guy that seemingly he shouldn't have been able to take down, and gaining like a really awesome skill that allows like a double hit thing to occur as well too. So now he's like really powerful skill set, right? Level 1, but like skills and stats are off the chart and off the roof. So we have all this really cool stuff that's like, I was like, really getting into really strongly as we're watching this episode and stuff. Then we transition to like the next part where, he's going to go meet this Roxy girl who is now taking over her family. Apparently her dad just died and like, trying to fight some dragons. So now she is absorbing the household, and then she hired him and he started working there. And we have this really cool back and forth between them. Again, we still don't know her interest because he decided not to touch her this episode because he doesn't want to start hearing the telepathy and the stuff's going on there. So we don't really know kind of what is really driving her and Fate. Like, is it some kind of like weird yandere type of deal? Is it she just really has interest? Is it pity? We don't really know what she's doing here. But we do know as he begins to climb the powerful ladder, she'll probably take notice of him in a different way, at some time. Then they transition to the next thing, right? Which is the gluttonous version of him. He's eating, but bro is like hungry. And we learned from his sword that the gluttony skill, based on his red eyes that he had, that it craves souls. So basically for the rest of his life, he's going to be a slave to soul collection, and he had to go and like satiate his soul gluttonous appetite by killing monsters and killing things and all this. So he ends up fighting an orc king, and he ends up transferring his stats to his sword. His sword is multi-dimensional, and was able to transition, or I guess you could say transform, into a bow that's really powerful. So now we're all set to this next thing that's going to happen. So this anime, it's awesome. It does really good world building. I'm really in it with this Fate character. I love his talking sword. I love the way he interacts with a lot of the people around him, right? And I like how there is populist interest in him for people he's interacted with for so long, because he was just putting in the work forever, that he has this general populace of people that really care for him, right? Like these commoner folks that are wondering where he's at and what he's doing and hope he's all right and all this other stuff, right? Because they know that he's a hard worker, and he's a hard worker that was dealt a bad hand, essentially. And he has all of these people. So this anime is doing a fantastic job. And then it's really well, I think it's personally, you know, based on not knowing anything, I would say it's well paced. It's doing a good job of world building and character building. Has a really cool plot line that's really dark and sadistic in a way. And has some really interesting characters surrounding our main character. So my overall interest level on this, 8.5 out of 10. I think it's one of the best new shows so far of the season, 2 episodes in. So anyways, those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below of episode 2 of Berserk of Gluttony. Loving the show, loving what we got so far, and can't wait for more. All right, my friends, I'm going to see you in the next week's episode. Peace, peace, peace. Deuce, 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 deuce.